Yes, the Canon R5 has been around for a while, but today I want to make my own version of a video kind of looking at some of my favorite features of this camera and answer one of the biggest questions I see out there: is the camera really worth several £1,000s? So stick around to the end of the video to hear the answer to that. But in the meantime, let's get straight into why I love this camera so much. First and foremost, something that I love about this camera is how small and how subtle the camera really is. So rocking up to jobs with it, you may be looked at funny. People kind of think, really, is that the camera you use to do all your work? And yes, it is. To be honest, I love the fact that it is so small, because it's also nice. You can sneak into places where technically with bigger film cameras, you probably would be shouted at or told not to bring those cameras in. This looks so small and so subtle, it just kind of looks like your run and gun, point and shoot type camera. But don't be fooled. This camera packs a punch. It really sits so nicely in your hand. The grip itself, I was worried, to be honest. I have held one back in the past just before we left South Africa for the UK, but I'd kind of forgotten what it felt like. And then not so long ago, I was filming a wedding and the photographer there had the Canon R6. Now I held that in my hand and I was like, wow, it actually does feel so nice. But the R5 is just that much more chunky, and so it really just sits in your hand so comfortably. It's a decent weight. The body itself is fairly light, being a mirrorless camera, but with the 24-105 RF that I've got on here now, it is weighty. But trust me, when you're used to shooting with a 5D, this thing is way, way lighter, and so weight is definitely not an issue, and yes, it is super comfortable to hold. Secondly, I love the autofocus system in this camera. It's actually scary how accurate it is. I've seen it work focusing on lions while hunting at dusk, and it held focus the entire way. Now I thought that was super crazy, but now holding it myself, shooting various jobs, I did a job yesterday with this, and just to see how it focused, it's unbelievable how it just holds your subject. Now, not only is its autofocus really good, you can select which autofocus or what subject you are photographing or videoing. So for example, right now it's on human or people, but if you are photographing or videoing animals, you can select it to pet mode and it will somehow adjust its settings to make it sensitive to animals. And I just love the fact that you can do that. They've really thought about that, and they've put a lot of effort into the autofocus system. So you will get a focused photograph or video shot every single time. On top of the focus, you have the in-body stabilization. Now, I went and filmed this job 2 days ago, and I was asked to please bring my stabilizer along, and I said to the client, well, there's actually absolutely no need for a stabilizer because of the camera that I've got. And he's like, well, are you sure? And I was like, I promise you. And it is so nice to know that you can back a camera and back a system that really will deliver on this. And so filming out on the streets of London, run and gun just in my hand, I got the stable shots that I needed. And it's obviously going to be paired with a stabilized lens, otherwise the system doesn't work fully. And so ensure that you get yourself an image stabilized lens, because then you're going to get that butter smooth type shots that you're looking for. And there's absolutely no need for a gimbal. In fact, that reminds me, I need to put that gimbal online for sale. Most of my work nowadays is video, and it ticks all the boxes from a video point of view. But taking photographs, we were recently in Portugal, and so I got to put both the video and photo features to the test. Just to have that much more data in an image really means that you can recover so much and you can get so much more out of the images. Taking a lot of photos, I'm used to using the viewfinder and the 5D. I hardly ever use the live screen or the flip out screen that you've got now on the Canon R5, and so I did a lot of both. I still used the viewfinder, but I did a lot more photographing through the flip out screen. Now, flip out screens, I wasn't sure if I liked the idea of them or not, but having got one now, it is so helpful to have. So busy filming right now, I can see myself on the screen. It helps me frame my shots well. But out on the go, if you're filming low down, on the 5D, I was only used to the screen on the back of the camera, but now being able to pop that out, flip it up, I can see exactly what I'm framing or what I'm shooting while I'm holding the camera low down. It just makes it so much easier. And on top of that, I love the fact that the screen is touchscreen. Now, touchscreens drive me mad on a lot of cameras because they are either so sensitive or not sensitive enough. And so they just become fiddly, they become frustrating to use, and you end up defaulting to the arrows or the joystick on the camera itself. Now, they have developed such a good screen on this camera that it is an absolute treat to use. You can trigger your photographs, you can trigger your videos, start and stop, you can preview, change all your settings on that screen, and I think it is an absolute winner. So another great feature, and good job Canon on this screen. It is so nice to use. Coming back to the viewfinder though, I absolutely love the fact that it is a live view viewfinder. So used to in the 5D, it was just a standard viewfinder that you get in most other cameras, but now it is a digital screen. So what I love about this is if you are out and it is super bright outside, you are able to preview your photos and you are able to preview your video through that screen. So it gives you an accurate representation of your exposures and of your alignment and all those technical things that you're not so sure you got if it is super bright outside. Now, I absolutely love that. But one feature further is you can video while looking through the viewfinder. So if it is super bright outside and you're not sure if your settings are 100% perfect, just pop that camera up to your eye and the screen turns off, and now your image is coming through the viewfinder and you're able to get all those settings smack on to ensure that you get the shot. Now, this is a fantastic feature. It's something that I wasn't sure if I would use it that much, but I have used it more than I realized. And it almost feels old school, kind of putting your eye back to the viewfinder, looking through the video camera. But now it's obviously just such incredible quality, and it is such a good feature, and it is something that definitely stands out to me in this camera. So those are really just a few things that I absolutely love about this, and I've said it 1,000 times, but I do love this camera. It really is well worth it. Now, it is expensive. Let's not beat around the bush. This is not a camera that I've been able to afford for a very long time, but I've been in a fortunate position of recent to be able to buy one. And let me tell you, it is worth every single cent, pence, dollar, whatever currency you're looking at this in. Do yourself a favor and ensure that you can afford it, first of all. Don't go into major debt buying this thing, because I think that's unwise. But I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm here to give you advice to buy this camera when the time is right for you. It has been such a rewarding process, having been so patient shooting on the 5D for the last 8 to 9 years, now being privileged enough to be able to buy this. I love this camera. So if you have any questions, please do let me know. Please do drop me a comment below. Be sure to subscribe and like, because I'm going to be posting a lot more videos on this channel. But I hope this video has been helpful, and I will catch you guys in the next one soon.